Hey Star Wars fans, it's me, Young Jedi 1440 here again with another diorama video. So today we're going to be going over my Endor window display. I guess it's a diorama, but it's a bunch of little dioramas put together. Okay, so let's start with the bunker, guys. Hope you guys can see it. Yeah, you can. Alright, so this bunker, I actually got the idea from Budget Jedi, who I really admire, him and his dioramas. So this is basically the way he made it, except instead of using mailboxes, I used foam core. I used his stick idea for little ridges on the sides. I really thought that looked really nice, and I also used his door idea. Created my own doorway based on what I saw. I also used his panel idea from Diorama Workshop, and those two little panels up there. So it was actually really simple to make and really fun to make. For paint, I just used flat gray, and then I went over it a little again with black. Just not too much, just lightly, so it looks like there's little splotches and weathering. I don't know if you guys can see it though. Yeah, so those little panels are there. I didn't bother to paint the top of it. So that's basically it for the bunker. For the trees, let's go on to the trees. I got the idea from Frank Diorio, who has the Diorama Workshop, and he also does Diorama Workshops for the celebrations. And he did this for his Endor Village celebration, the crumpled bark technique. So I basically took his technique and just put it onto paper towel rolls, and then I added my own little details on it, like I bought moss and hot glue gun that on there. And I really like the way those trees look. They look really cool. For the bases, they wouldn't stand, so I made a little cardboard square base and then just covered that with moss you can find at the dollar store. As for the plants, those I also got at the dollar store. They came in little bunches, and I just separated them, and then I bought a little bag of rocks, and I glued them onto the rocks. I'll show you here. You guys can see that? That's just a little rock, and then the plant's on there. It doesn't want to stand now. There we go. For my little Endor Ewok village, I was going to use bamboo skewers, but I couldn't find any. So what I used instead were actually drinking straws found at the dollar store. They're just plastic drinking straws, and I took cardboard and I just cut it into the shape that I wanted, and then on top I just put the straws, and it came out really good. I just spray painted it brown, and here there's more straws right there as little supporters, and I did make over here, you guys can see little rails out of the straws, so everything that should be bamboo is the straws. And I really did like the way that came out. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's little layered bases on there with the straws. Little campfire, it's just rocks and extra twigs I had lying around. And I put a tea light in there so I can light it up, and it looks like there's a fire. I have all my Ewoks up here. I have all vintage Ewoks. The trees are the same bark thing. There's a paper towel roll going through there. There's the dollar store plants again drooping from the sides to give it green. Over here I have my vintage speeder bike. It is missing the little flaps in the back though. I don't know where those are. Up here in the canopy, it's just a string of leaves I bought at the dollar store. As for figures in here in this diorama, there's a mixture of vintage and new ones. Like all my Ewoks are vintage, speeder bike and biker scout are vintage. Over here we have some newer rebel soldiers, except for this guy over here, who's a vintage rebel soldier. Another one, I bought two of those rebel commandos from the vintage collection because I found them at Target for like $3 on clearance, so I bought two. Over here we have the newer R2-D2, the vintage, Leia, the vintage collection, Han Solo, from Endor. Over here we have, come on, focus. We have 2 newer Scout Troopers. They came with the commemorative pack. I bought one with the commemorative pack, and the other one I purchased loose from this little store. It sells loose figures. The ATSD I got from Kmart for on clearance. It was a really good price. It was like $15, which I thought was awesome compared to the original price. And I also got the 2 ATST drivers on clearance. I don't know if you guys can see the other ones in there. I got them for like $5 on clearance at Kmart. And I know a lot of collectors have been complaining about the legs of this one, and at first I was complaining about the legs because they would not stand. I had it on another shelf and he kept falling over and knocking over everything. So what I ended up doing was over here in these leg joints, I actually was able to tighten the screws so they move, but not that easily. And then down here I tried to tighten the screws, but I couldn't. So what I ended up doing was putting zip ties over the little movable part so that they won't move and bend over, because I was scared that he was going to fall over and knock everything over and break, and I did not want that. So I just put the zip ties, and it works really well. So that's how I solved that. I really do like the AT-ST. It's one of my favorite Imperial vehicles next to the AT-AT. So yeah, that's basically it with my Endor diorama. I'll give you another look. There is moss on the ground. I bought a little bag at the dollar store and just spread it around randomly. I like to cover the bottom bases of the trees so it actually looks like they're growing out of there. And then there's moss, as I pointed out, in the trees. Little random patches that I got glue gunned on there. Alright, so that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. May the Force be with you.